Hello and welcome to Gimpy Bytes, the only place on the internet that combines disability and gaming into one fine point on the space-time continuum. I'm Captain Gimpy, and I don't know who that guy is.
And I'm Zenburo, yeah.
Oh, that's who you are. So, a few episodes ago, we did a series on Ian Hamilton's game accessibility website, and he actually tweeted us a link to a very interesting Gama Sutra article on VR and accessibility. And we're actually going to be doing a multi-part series on that because there are so many links to comb through in that article that there's no freaking way we could do that in like less than an hour. And that would be like multiple episodes. So we just decided to split it today. We're just going to talk about some general things that we found interesting in the body of the article itself. And next week we'll probably dive into the motor impairment aspect. So with that, one of the things about motor impairments in VR obviously is like I can't fucking stand up, and I shouldn't say fucking, but I said fucking. So I can't stand up and walk around and like spin my head in 360 like that girl in The Exorcist, and jump around where my breast jiggle like on the Man Show, that incredibly sexist show that used to be on Spike TV. So
G4.
Yeah, oh yeah. Huh?
Yeah, they moved to G4.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So I can't do that. So you might be asking, as I am still asking, because all this is theoretical, how is someone like me going to play a VR game? One of the most interesting things was the idea of eye tracking in VR, so I would move where I look. Not only would the camera move depending on my head movement, but my character would do things based on where my eyes were looking, which is bad because I have ADD and look all over the place, so I might die anyway. Another thing is head height, because the way a lot of this stuff works is very similar in terms of how it tracks to like the Wii setup, right? So what happens is there's a receiver and then there's a headpiece, and the receiver is tracking where the headpiece is. Now, if you can't adjust the head height of your VR setup, it's not going to track me because it's expecting someone at standing height, and I'm 100% sitting. So one of the things they talked about is adding something like adjustable head height, giving people the option of either playing with a combination of the headset plus a traditional controller, a la the old Oculus Rift design, or going full-on immersion. And there's also a comfort mode, which I believe turns off some features that cause motion sickness,
which I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it because I'll laugh, because I keep going back to the instance where he was...
Yeah, I'll tell the story. One day, I had a very severe migraine.
Oh no, he's going to tell it in this episode.
And I'm prone to those, by the way. But when I get a severe migraine, like on that day I was having it, I get a little nauseous, and certain sounds and smells and visual stimuli makes me feel like I'm going to throw up. And stupidly, I decided to play Battlefield 3.
Yep.
The single-player campaign.
Yeah.
And at that time, I had a pretty beast PC, which I don't have anymore. He does, though.
Yeah, I do.
But I had a beast PC, so I had that shit on Ultra, and the mission started in the cockpit of a jet. First-person view. Normally, I'd be fine, but on that day, when I was looking around, I was like, oh shit, I'm in the air.
You literally said, whoa dude, it's too realistic.
I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna throw up. I need to stop playing this game.
And then I was like, what are you talking about? It's like your brain doesn't know that you're just playing a game. And you're like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, and I had to play a few levels of Super Mario World to bring my brain back to stability.
Like, these things moving on the screen are not you.
Yeah. So...
You are not your video game. Repeat after me.
So yeah, obviously when it comes to VR, motion sickness would be a topic that gets brought up. What happens is, this is what I read from the article and some stuff I remember reading about the inner ear and balance, is that when you're playing a video game, your inner ear thinks that you're sitting. It says you're stationary, which you are, but the part of your brain that picks up visual data through your eyes, it thinks you're moving. So there's like this conflict between the two systems, and it causes like this feeling of oh god, I think I'm gonna throw up, because it's just so jarring.
I actually want to play a sit-down VR system to see if it makes me motion sick. So if any of you are in the Sacramento area and can make that happen even for like 30 minutes to an hour, I'll go to your house. Because I actually want to see if it makes me motion sick, because I've never been motion sick on anything but a roller coaster, and that was because I like ate 15 minutes before I went on like an idiot. But to be fair, I was only like 6 years old. So
yeah, can't really count that then.
Yeah, but that's the only time I've ever thrown up because of motion. I don't usually get motion sick, so I'd like to see if I have motion sickness in those conditions, because I know that even people who haven't experienced motion sickness while doing basically anything have gotten really sick after playing VR sitting down, like the classic Oculus Rift like beta design that had the PlayStation control.
Yeah. So yeah.
Another thing they touch on is how to make a game accessible for those with hearing loss. And I forgot the exact word, but it's basically asymmetric hearing loss, where one ear works better than the other. And they said that's the most common type of hearing impairment.
Yep.
So one of the solutions, one of the workarounds for that is the ability to have your game produce monaural sound instead of binaural, aka stereo, or 3D, whatever. Yeah, it's basically stereo with echo effects. But so one of the solutions is mono. That way, all of your audio input goes to the person's more functional ear, so that they don't miss a huge portion of your audio input, because audio input is so important in game design. And also, even though the article admits that some people won't like this, but the inclusion of the option to turn on text in your game, like, why not? Seriously? You think that's going to take away from the VR experience? Dude, it's a game. Like, if you want to escape your life so bad that you don't want text on the screen because it makes you remember you're playing a video game, then you might be running away from something else.
Yeah.
Just saying. Those were a couple things that we found interesting so far. We're going to go into detail about each one of these subjects and kind of pick the most interesting bits out of the larger body of information presented via third-party links. But we just kind of wanted to put that out there and let you guys know what's up. My computer has been intermittently infected with some malwares. So currently we're uploading all our episodes from my phone. So for now, these will be guerrilla-esque and largely unedited, because I gotta do a bunch of scans. But till next time, I am the captain of Gimps.
And I'm the Zenist of Boros. You know.
I didn't know a Boro could be anything but Zen until you like try to make it move and then go.
You're disturbing its nature.
Right. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Yep.